Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Champions Esports Series. I'm your host today, Mr. Alex Agnew. It's a pleasure to be here after the qualifiers round and the first round down under in Australia. But today we are here in the fantastic Suzuka track, Japan. And I'm really excited for this race today. And I think what I'm going to do first is take you through the track map, folks. Hope you're having a great day as well. Happy Tuesday, folks. Hope you had an absolute field day. Now you're here now. So what can't be better in the world than this? Anyway, track map for you. So 5.8 kilometers, opened in 1962, and the only figure of 8 circuit in Formula One. Suzuka, Japan, owned by Honda, designer John Hugenholz, and elevation change 40 meters, corners 18, 10 to the right, 8 to the left. Pit loss around 22 seconds. Iconic corners all around. 130R. Spoon curve, Casio triangle. The S is in that first sector. Dunlop curve, the Degners, which really catch out on this game if you do catch the curb. But overall, it's looking like a very interesting race. We'll have a recap on that first round as well before we do get into the race. I'm pretty sure we'll go through the qualified teams. Well, if you didn't know already, if this is your first time with us today, so qualified teams you need to look out for is in the Alpine, we've got SCI, we've got VNT in the Ferrari, we've got Tess in Aston Martin, ET8 in the McLaren, Tatum Racetech in the Mercedes, ONB in the Kick Sauber, AZI in the Haas, IRT in the Williams, RSC in the RB, and FVR are in the Red Bull. But in round one, let's have a quick look at the standings and the results. The results was Francesco Lago who won the race, as he got a penalty removed in the end, and it's Valentino Labella who did win out on track. But unfortunately, when penalties got removed, it went to Francesco Lago, who ended up winning that race. Then it was Elia Tomasetto, Elia, however you want to say it, in P3, Lucas Shea in P4, and Florian van Zelter in P5. And that means Tatum Racetech lead the championship heading into round two. But yeah, I think Japan is a mixed bag on this game. You can have a really good race sometimes, but I feel like qualifying is a thing to look out for. As we are heading now into qualifying, as we'll head to the pre-race screen in a few moments' time. But yeah, should be a good one today, and I'm certain we'll be provided with some good track action. But yeah, hope you're enjoying your day, and I hope you enjoy the stream, and I hope you'll enjoy the race, just like I hopefully will as well. Should be a good one, and I think qualifying will get underway in a few moments' time. But yeah, I feel like this can be a driver favourite track. I think on this game especially, it's come to people's benefits. But we'll head to the track now, and let's get some racing action underway, guys, shall we? And tire allocation. Why has it put me in a car? Let me might have to just leave the session and join back. I might have just forgot to put myself on a spectator. Silly me. Let me just check the server, see if I can leave and join back. My apologies, guys. I will get us into qualifying in a few moments' time. As quickly close the game and come back into it. Me, guys. I'll just head on to the intermission while I sort this one out. Right, chaps, apologies, I have just messed up the whole lobby, but it's alright because we're having a good time. Apologies, guys, I just didn't press the spectate button like an absolute loony, but it's alright because we're in good spirit and we're all late to have a good time. We are going to have to restart the whole lobby on the other hand, so that's me being an absolute spoon. But speaking of spoon, we're off to spoon curve in a few minutes' time in qualifying, which is turn 13, turn 14. Right. Folks, key features and talking points. We'll go through that on my notes page here. Driver favourite, and I agree with that on this game. I feel like people rather love it or hate it. It's like Marmite is this circuit, but yeah, it's going to be like a high commitment. It is a very high commitment circuit. You've got to be. It's narrow flowing, punishes mistakes, and is very technical. Limited overtaking, which is the kind of problem we've got here. Turn 1, probably main overtaking. Casio Triangle, that's another one. Maybe turn 11. I think you see that a lot on the first lap. Hello, gents in the chat as well, one of the FVR lads. I don't think he's racing today, though. But anyway, folks, we'll get the lobby restarted. And yeah, I apologise, everyone, for me not pressing spectate and nicking FVR. So yeah, if FVR are looking for a new driver, I'm right here. You don't need anyone else. I am literally right here. So, I mean, I've already been hired, it seems, by FVR, just to sub in and sub out drivers. And was it who've I replaced? Was it? I think it was. Let's have a look. Who did I replace? Rick's Maggie Prime. That is quality. Quality from Jensen. That, to be fair, I was primed back in the day. Jake Dawser. Apologise. I do apologise. Short qualifying, Jensen. It is short qualifying. I think we're just going to get restarted now anyway, chaps. But anyway, we've got FVR in the chat. Who else wants to join us in the chat? I think we should have more teams in the chat. People I know as well. That'd be very fun. But yeah, quick reminder what cars are what. SCI, Alpine, VNT, Ferrari, Aston Martin Tess. McLaren is ET8, Mercedes is TRT, Red Bull is FVR, RSC is RB, Williams is IRT, Haas is AZR, and ONB is then the Kick Sauber. So there should be alright once we get stuck in. Ours is absolute carnage here. I really wish I showed you what I'm seeing here, because there's cars everywhere. To be quite frankly honest, is some lethal crash. Oh, it's my car. There's the Alex Bagnall car. Don't drive Imola. That is a really, really good point, Jensen. I don't think Imola is good for me. So if I am not to press the spectate button, we should definitely not be on Imola, because that will not be great for viewership. We'll say that. But anyway, chaps, who's ready for some action? Because we're finally going to get underway with qualifying. I'm just going to check where we're up to. Skipping all this podium rubbish. And it was Hamza who won. That's Alex Bagnall came fourth in that session, guys. In the FVR car, Alex Bagnall came fourth in that mess about session. So just saying, if any esports teams want to sign me up or my AI, just come and let me know. And I'll get stuck in straight away. Easy contract, really. Gives a packet of bourbons or some packet of Walker's crisps, and I'll be there. I'll sign on to that deal. It should be alright once we get in. I will press spectate. I will definitely press spectate, which I am, which is fantastic. So Oleg Napadovsky can take his seat back, and where's the other Red Bull? Zalambida. Apologies, Oleg. I did not mean to take your seat. You are not under threat from FVR unless they look at that P4 performance and realise that I am quality at driving. Right, we are finally readying up for qualifying. A few minutes late. 13 minutes late, which is my apologies, like I said. But we will get into qualifying now, and I'll head straight down to the track. Oh, sure. Do you know what? We'll have one more track map for you. So, obviously, 5.8 kilometers, 3.6 miles, 18 turns, and that is 10 to the right and 8 to the left on this clockwise circuit. And yeah, track design John Hugenholz, and owned by Honda in Suzuka, Japan, and opened it in 1962. First F1 race in 1987, and only figure of 8 track in Formula 1. Tyre wear is traditionally very high, with the long high-speed corners, but in the game it's already just high anyway, and it causes a bit of drama with the strategies. And yeah, the first F1 race, 1987, won by Gerhard Berger in the Ferrari, and 13 title deciders, and here in the past, from Senna to Prost era to Verstappen, and most wins Schumacher with 6. Track facts for you of the fantastic Suzuka. Let's go down to the circuit for once, and let's stop faffing about. Let's get stuck in. And this time, I will not be driving for FPR, and this time, the drivers may just hate me because it's raining. I am not going to be favourite of all the drivers. Hopefully this doesn't mean we have to restart. So we'll have a look in the drivers' chat. Fair enough. I don't think they've all realised yet. I don't think they have realised that it is wet. But anyway, wet qualifying. That should spice things up. And it might be a wet to dry. I think my favourite qualifying sessions are traditionally wet to dry qualifying. So that will be an absolutely fantastic way to start the season for me personally. But anyway, so we'll run through the lineup for today then. Qualifying is just getting underway, and Lucas SL is in the RSC alongside Nathan Poulain. Then is Neo in AZR with Daniel Hope, Oscar Forheim in the SCI alongside Isaac Lee, Oleg Napadovsky in the FVR alongside Zalan Beda, and then back from that, Tristan Janssen in TRT. He's going to be alongside Florian van Zelter. Jan Halliday, should I say, in the Aston Martin in the Tess. He's alongside Lucas Baisner for Tess. Then who else have we got? Pascal Gill, lobby host for OMB, is alongside Odinotux, I think that is. Hamza and Omut Atiz, I think that is. These are my first time getting these names done, so keep that in mind. And Jonas Orpel and AMG. And Ryan Modler. And Nando Moreira, I think that is. So, yes. We'll learn these names over time. I'm here for the next 2 weeks for you. And we should have some good racing action. I'm hoping for some good racing action. Out on the track at the minute is Lucas SL, Neo, Daniel Hope, Nathan Poulain, Tristan Janssen, Jan Halliday, Lucas Baisner, Hamza, Umut, Jonas Orpel, Odinotux, Beda, and first out on the track, I'm pretty sure, is the Aston Martin, the Tess of Jan Halliday, who will ride on board with first to get this lap underway, to get qualifying underway for the Test team for Suzuka for round 2 of the Championship Esports, the Champions Esports Series. Jan Halliday crosses the line and gets us going on his route down to turn number 1. Past the 150, past 100, past the 50, throw it in, still nearly full throttle, but lifts, goes down to 4th, and on the exit, keeping as much grip as he possibly can as he heads onto the power, into the tricky S corners, especially in these damp conditions. Turn 3, turn 4, into turn 5 and 6, and overall managed pretty well in this qualifying session. Short qualifying, I'm pretty sure this one is, as Jan Halliday makes his way down past a Dunlop curve into Degner 1, over the curb on the inside, does it pretty well. Doesn't want to ride that curb too much, it can throw the car out, but overall gets off it nicely into Degner 2 as we head down to turn number 10, into the hairpin at turn 11. Bit of a slide for Jan Halliday, but throws the car in, catches it quite well, and on the exit back onto the power. And here we go, around 200 at turn number 12, up into Spoon Corner. and Jan Halliday on the intermediate compound tyres in these very damp conditions, running pretty well so far on the curb on the outside and kisses the apex on the inside. Lets the car merge back out as he flies it through the gears once again as we head into 130R. For the first time this session, Jan Halliday obviously setting purple sectors all around. And so far, so good. Pretty decent banker lap. You've got to gain confidence in these wet conditions. Flies over the final chicane in the Casio triangle and heads through the gears. So that's a big slide. He's catched it. He's caught it very well, but still heads to the line. Jan Halliday's a 142.341. There's Lucas Sell. He's also quite far back, so let's see if we can ride on board with someone close. I think both of the AZR drivers are heading to the line now. It will be Daniel Hope first. We'll head to him as he heads round the final corner and to the line for AZR's first lap in this session. Puts it up into P2 and nearly 2 seconds behind Jan Halliday's time. Let's see if Neo can get a little bit closer as he heads under the Lenovo boards. No, he actually a bit further back, a second back from his teammate. We'll look at Lucas Ellis. He's next across the line into P3. Not too bad from himself. Oleg Napadovsky, where's he going to figure out in all this? He's actually invalidated his lap time. That's not great for him. Zalan Bida, he's also heading into 130R. Let's see if he can improve and try and challenge Jan Halliday's time of 142.3 as he heads into Casio Triangle. It's nice and smooth through there. He's going to head back onto the power and to the line. Very cautious, very tentative, but overall in these wet conditions it's very understandable. Puts it only into P10 and is 146.5. That's not going to be as competitive as others out there. Oscar Foroheim has just started his lap and heading through the S's. Omut Atis puts it into P2 for IRT, still 1.2 behind Jan Halliday's time, who's flying at the front at the moment. He's looking very, very promising as Pascal Gill looking to get OMB's first time on the board as he heads through 130R. And let's see if he can try and put it close in the top 5. For OMB's teammate Ordino Tux is currently sat in P5 on a 133.4. The wheels twitch into the line, don't want to grip, and puts it only into P8 with a 144.435 and just half a tenth ahead of Lucas SL. Further back from that, Ryan Modler pops it up into the top spot. Great lap from himself with 142.3. His teammate invalidated his time for the VNT team. Isaac Leet is on a lap time heading through Spoon Curve as SCI reigning champions, won in round 1, and it was Oscar Foroheim and Isaac Leet this time around lining up for the current reigning champions. Let's see where SCI can put it out today as they got that front row lockout in the first round. Let's see if Isaac Leet can match that and match his teammates' work as he heads on the brakes down to second gear, over the curb on the inside, kisses both apexes very nicely. Oscar Foroheim, his teammate, puts it onto provisional hole. Can Isaac Leet follow that, match it, or go even better? Isaac Leet's the line, beats it by a tenth of a second. Great lap time from Isaac Leet and Oscar Foroheim. 1-2 for SCI. Great start for the team. Currently sitting P2 in the championship after round 1, and Isaac Leet pops it to the top of the times. Leet and Foroheim in P1 and P2. And for SCI, it's looking good for the reigning champions. So far in qualifying, but still, Track Evolution might just come back. And yeah, that could shake things up in qualifying. But so far, SCI looking good in CES once again. Solid stuff from Isaac Leet and Oscar Foroheim. Further back from that, Oleg Napadovsky puts it into P3. And Ryan Modler into P4. His teammates still not able to set a lap time in AMG, and Nando Moreira, both of them have not set lap times, as Florian van Zelt, I think, might have a qualifying ban. He retired straight away at the start of qualifying. Let's see if Nando can put a lap time in as it heads around Spoon Curve. His teammate was briefly on provisional pole, then got bet by Oscar Foroheim. Oleg Napadovsky put it up into P3, and Isaac Leet flew to the top of the times. Let's see if Nando Moreira can get his first lap on the board. It's a 25 in the first 2 sectors. What about the final sector? To add it all up and calculate his lap time, what's it going to be? And RSC currently lined up in P16 and P17. Nando Moreira is coming into the pit lane. AMG heading through that first sector. He really needs a lap time on the board. Oscar Foroheim going back to back on these laps. Track Evo must be high. He's been 6/10 clear of his teammate Isaac Lee at the top of the times at the moment. Oleg Napadovsky is not on a lap time. And let's see if Jan Halliday can improve on his lap time of a 1:42.3. He's held provisional pole for quite a while, then got beaten by a few drivers out on the track. Lucas Baisner tops the times on a 1:40.9 at the moment. And yeah, let's see if Halliday can improve. He's improved by 2 seconds in the first 2 sectors. This is easily a provisional pole. But how much has he got extra time in the final sector? As we head into the Casio Triangle, Jan Halliday nicely over both curbs. To the line we go. This is the best time of qualifying. It's going wet to dry. He pulls it out wide once again. Jan Halliday to the line. It's a 1:39.9. The first man in the 39s makes it a test 1-2 so far. Jan Halliday on provisional pole. Lucas Baisner in P2. Both, gapped by a second. Lucas Baisner cannot match his teammate. Jan Halliday's been so quick so far. He's really gaining confidence so quickly on this circuit, and he could be a real threat for pole position today if he keeps up this work. No mistakes on here. Jan Halliday could be really solid by the end of qualifying session as the rain begins to slow down since the start of qualifying, and that could just make things that little bit more interesting. Daniel Hope pops it up into P2, so does Neo into P4 for AZR, looking pretty good as AMG finally gets a lap in and puts Jonas Orpel back down to P10 as he slots himself up into P9. Let's see if the RSC guys can try and improve as Lucas SL is heading in that first sector. And currently on a 1:44.5, 4.5 off the pace. And yeah, needs to really improve, not just in the first sector, but all sectors combined. 1.4 up in the first sector, that's a good way to start. Needs to tick down that time and try and get himself in contention for the top 10. Some traffic in the way to navigate through, all moving out the way pretty nicely. And there's an AZR driver, I think that's Daniel Hope, in front of Lucas SL. And on the exit, does move out the way pretty nicely. Let's see where Lucas SL can try and get that RSC RB up into. And I don't know if you saw that, but you saw his little figure through the car there. But Lucas SL on the exit of Spoon Curve and heading down to 130R. And currently sat down in P17. His teammate in P18. It's not looking good for RSC so far as we head to the final few corners at the Casio Triangle. Heavy on the brakes, manages his way through both of the corners at the chicane, and to the line we go. And what can he do in qualifying so far? Up into P5, that's a solid lap time there. Still quite a way off the pace of the likes of Jan Halliday, but overall, good lap time there as the qualifying starts to come to a close. That could be a solid place to be. If anyone else makes mistakes, he's picked up the scraps, and his teammate coming out on the pit lane for his outlap so far in this session. Tatis at the moment 2.6 up in the first 2 sectors. Let's see what he can do for IRT. As into Casio Triangle we go. His teammates down in P16, currently the fastest IRT driver. He's going to go even quicker than this. Where's it going to be? It's going to be P2, solid lap time for Umut there, and his teammate slots it into P3, only a few hundredths separating the pair. Odino Tux pops it up into P2 for OMB. His teammate on the other hand still down in P17. The track is ramping up, everybody's ramping up, everyone's got a chance of gaining provisional pole position today, and at the moment Pascal Gill, can he try and contend a 1:39.9? Jan Halliday's time still the only one in the 39.9 should I say. And Pascal Gill, can he try and beat it? He's currently about 4.4 seconds off that. He's just gained 3.3 in the first 2 sectors. Is there any more time in the final sector? Needs to push his absolute limit as Pascal Gill for OMB heads towards the line. Is it going to be in the top 5? Is it going to be maybe in provisional pole? Let's see what Pascal Gill can do. Only into P6 there, and only gains 3.6 seconds, but 40.7, not too bad. And needs to hope that no one improves behind, but that is very, very unlikely as we've got some faster guys out on the track at the minute ready to set some solid lap times. Lucas L is into the pit lane. Oscar Foroheim and Isaac Lee out on the track. The fleet led by Isaac Leet for SCI. And what can Isaac Leet do as we head towards him on the dry line. Is forming so far. And here we go. Down to turn number 1. Flying round the right-hander of turn number 1. Into turn number 2. Isaac Leet on the exit. Flying through the gears once again. Jonas Orpel pops up in a 139.3 for ETA. Flying at the top. But the track definitely ramping up at this phase. OMB's in P3 and P7. Could be flying at if it stays like this. But Isaac Leet, and we've got a few faster guys who have been knocked down the order. Nando Moreira only up into P7 for VNT. I think has enough time to get another lap in. Isaac Leet already 1.6 seconds up in the first sector alone. Easily going to be provisional pole so far. He carries on improving in the sectors like he is. Flies into turn 11 with absolute confidence. Isaac Leet is flying. Zalambida pops it up into P1 there. Provisional pole with 39.2. And by 10th a second beats Orpel for ET8. Isaac Leet heads into Spoon and flies in the double left hand of turn 13 and turn 14. Can be tricky on the exit with track limits if he gets on the power a bit too early. Overall, kept it very nicely on the power. Flies through the gears once again. And 7th through 8th as we head into 130R. See how much commitment he's got through 130R. Is it going to be a lift or is it going to be flat out? Absolutely foot flat to the floor for Isaac Leet. Heads past 100 meter board and heavy on the brakes. Down to second over both curbs. This is perfect for Isaac Leet. This is exactly what he needs. His teammates in behind, ahead of him in the standings so far. Can Isaac Leet take provisional pole? Of course he can by over a second. Fantastic lap. Oscar Furheim pops it 2 tenths behind, should I say. Makes it an SCI 1-2 once again. And these guys are second clear at the top. We've got to keep an eye now on VNT, IRT. There's a few more cars out there ready to compete. Jan Halliday as well. We need to keep a look at him. And wow, Zalambida, he's not going to go on another lap. Jan Halliday's on his out lap. Hamza pops it up into P3 as well. It's about be at the right place at the right time on this track. 1 minute 43 to go. Daniel Hope in P10 as we get knocked down by Zalambida and Oleg Napadovsky in the FVR cars as he could only put it in P3 with 138.5 as Daniel Hope heads through the first sector. Big snap from himself. Surely that's not going to be an improvement because of that. And heads through his first sector down. And well, so far then, out on the track, Lucas Baisner, I'm pretty sure, is on his lap as well. And his teammate Jan Halliday still on his out lap. See if Baisner can improve. And Fortes try and take pole position, stay in that first sector. Is he improving? Of course he is, by 1.4 seconds. Needs a lot more time than that if he wants to compete with Isaac Leet and flying Oscar Furheim at the top in P1 and P2. Lucas Baisner is down in second gear, heading through and chucking the car in to turn number 11. Now around 200R we go. And so far, Baisner's been quite committed on this lap. He really needs to push as much as he can. This might be his final lap in qualifying, but I can't check how much time's left because of that yellow flag in that final sector. We've got a big bit of traffic waiting to head on their laps. Hopefully this does not interrupt Lucas Baisner, as you'll see it on the minimap in a few moments' time. As yeah, still got a yellow flag. If you look in the bottom right corner, the Casio triangle looks pretty busy. Let's see where Lucas Baisner is going to feed out then as we head into the final section. Traffic has cleared up as we head now around the final corner and to a line. Hamza is retired from qualifying. He's not going to improve from P4. Lucas Baisner, can he improve to provisional pole? He can! What a lap time from Lucas Baisner. 37.8. 2 tenths clear for Tess. Jan Hallidays is on a lap time. Isaac Leet is on a lap time. Oscar Furheim is also on a lap time, so we've got a really good end to qualifying here. Luckily, SCI already have their bankers in. They have something to fall back on if it does go wrong for them. Jan Halliday 1.2 seconds up, so it's going to be SCI who will cross the line first in Isaac Leet and Oscar Furheim. They need to set the benchmark once again. Isaac Leet ahead of Oscar Furheim once again. AMG pops it up into P5, but the battle for pole I think is going to be here with SCI and the guys for in the Alpines, the guys Oscar Furheim, Isaac Leet and also Jan Halliday and Lucas Baisner. Who can take it? Lucas Baisner's got nothing left in the tank. Isaac Lee has just pumped another 5 attempts in the first 2 sectors. Let's see if he can try and get to the line and try and get clear of not just himself but his teammate, and absolutely flying to the line. Isaac Lee, Ryan Modler pops it to the top of the tank for VNT. Isaac Lee heads to the line and pops it even further. Another 3 attempts clear. Oscar Forheim next across the line, beats his teammate for the first time in qualifying. Now we've got Jan Halliday. He's flew all the way through qualifying. Does he fly to the top spot now? He absolutely does. It's a 36.8. for Jan Halliday. Mega lap there. Can anybody beat him out on track? Dalan Beeder's finished. Both the FBRs are finished. And that means it's Jan Halliday who flies at the top spot. Wow, what a dominant qualifying from himself. He set the benchmark early. He was on the track at the right place at the right time. He beats the SCIs. Jan Halliday, pole position, 36.890 in what I think is the best condition for qualifying. Tess on pole position. Then it goes Oscar Forheim and Isaac Lee for the reigning champions SCI. Daniel Hope in P4 with for AZR. I mean, mega job from himself there. 6 cents back. VNT with Ryan Modler in P5. Oleg Napadovsky for FER in P6. Lucas Baisner, Ben Jonas Orpel, Tristan Janssen. Then it's Umut Attis in P10. Got a message in the chat. Let's have a look in the chat as well. And Jensen said, Alex, got to think of a yearbook quote. Give me something. Let me have a little think. This isn't good. Right, I've got some quotes actually. I've got some quotes. Right, I'll get some. I'll get one for you here, Jensen. Before I head into the race. When you focus on problems, you'll have more problems. But when you focus on possibilities, you'll have more opportunities. What about that one? Or, the less you say, the more your words will matter. 2 quotes for you there. Think about them. Anyway, folks, we're going to get ready for the second round of CES. It's Jan Halliday on pole position, both the SCIs in behind, and the silence breaks, and the battle begins as we head down to turn number 1. It is carnage all round. I think this is going to be a restart. Daniel Hope's in the lead. Yes, we are restarting. I was just covering my back there. Whoa! I mean, that's a great crash. Absolute splendid. Whoa, that's fantastic. Jan Halliday, I'm going to get it parked up, mate. ETA, do you want to fancy retiring? Cheers, guys. If the earth is flat, why is it all going downhill? I'll have a think about that one. Anyway, folks, that is a little mess about session done. Do you know what we'll do? We will go to my screen. You can see me for a little bit while we absolutely get ready for qualifying. It won't let me put on the other screen for some reason. I only have one monitor, but the game's changed some sort of setting where I can't actually show you what's on my screen. But anyway, qualifying's done. It was an interesting one with Jan Halliday lying out on pole position. And that should actually be implemented in the game. But when we do these restarts, I should have a button where it's the Wii Sports strike effect, and I think I should be able to play them when we have some cars flipping upside down, barrel rolling off the line into plums. You know, I should have that as a soundboard. I'll have a think about that heading into the next few rounds. But anyway, yeah, I think this is going to be a decent race, to be honest. I think we're in a good position for it to be a decent race. And I'm actually kind of hoping it might just be wet as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. If it's wet, I feel like we want a mixed conditions race where it might be wet to dry, dry to wet, like qualifying was. Wet to dry always makes qualifying a little bit more interesting as it always ramps up towards the end. And at a track like Japan, you've got to be fully committed as well. As it's so flowing, punishes mistakes, and it is very, very technical. There's a few camber changes which can catch you right in the wet as well. Like turn number 11. Spoon, then the S's as well. The Degners, I think, are really tricky on this game because if you go too wide, you'll ride the curb and just fly into the wall. I've seen it so many times, especially in wet conditions. So, yeah, I think we'll have to keep an eye out. I know track limits can be a bit of a problem. So, yeah, let's have a think. But but let me have a look. So the grid is as follows. Jan Holiday on pole position, then it's Oscar Furheim, Isaac Lee, Daniel Hope, Brian Modler, Lucas Baisner, and then it is Oleg Napadovsky who grabbed P6 in the end. Jonas Orpel in P7, Tristan Janssen in P8, Umar Attis in P9, Nathan Poulain in P10, Lucas SL in P11, Dylan Bida in P12, and it's Neo in P13, AMG in P14, Nando Moreira in P15, Hamza in P16, Odino Tux in P17, and it's Pascal Gill in P18, P19, and Florian Fanzelta. I feel like I've said that wrong. I can't count, guys. It's been a long day. I feel like I didn't even say 20 cars then. I must have missed someone's name. Silly me. Anyway, let's see where we are in the lobby. Still not readying up just yet. And so far, we're just getting the grid ready. If you've got any quotes as well for Jensen's yearbook, put them in the comments. I'm sure he'll really appreciate that for some inspiration. And I'll definitely think of more. And I think, to be honest, Jensen, if you want to look at old quotes of mine, go ask Antonio. He's got some fantastic quotes of mine written down in his notes page. So yeah, if you want some quotes, just go ask him. He won't hesitate to say some for you. But anyway, it's a shame that Jensen's not racing, to be honest. I'd like to see him compete against these guys. But Jan Halliday was lightning quick today, so yeah, it's going to be a tough cookie to beat in this race. So far, we're set for a good race. I know it's a bit of a tricky one, Suzuka. So I'm hoping for a few overtakes and a bit of drama. But you never know. You never know what it's going to be at Suzuka. I've got a few little drinks. I've got a water and I've got a Lucozade Sport. Keep me going for this race. So we should be all good. We should be golden. Let me just check the lobby. Still yet to get the lobby done. Let's have a look. At the moment, only F5 on a few occasions. Not really majorly at the minute. I'm a bit too busy. And the other one you've put underneath, not really either. I'm just reserving that one as well. So you never know. I might pop in every now and again if I've got a bit of free time, but it's quite rare nowadays. It comes quite rare. I'm here this week and next Tuesday, 7 PM, same time. Come to here to watch me commentate or watch the race. You know, it's up to you what you want to watch more. I think mainly me. And obviously, magnificent banana behind me, SpongeBob. But it should be, yeah. I've got a few different ones going along at the minute, but not them two mainly at the minute. Only F5. But let's check the server. We'll keep updated on what's happening with all track action. I might just quickly head to intermission so I can have a drink and stuff like that. But I'll be back to you in a minute. Great chaps, we're back on track, we're back in the room, we're going to get ready for some racing action. Who's ready for it? And let's have a look in the chat, because I'm seeing some disrespect to other commentators I know. It's not nice. Black box. I mean, where am I in the equation at all? Do you know, it's all right. Forget it. We're off to the racetrack. Oh, let's go. Japan. Tell it, lads. Everyone's ready to go? I'm ready to go. It's time for Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Who's ready for this? Because I actually am, to be quite frankly honest with you. Let's have a good race. I believe in a good race. I think we'll achieve a good race. Team standings, it's TRT P1, SCI P2, then it's S in P3. Looking to elevate that with Jan Halliday on pole position. As we get ready to go then, folks, for when the silence does break and for when the battle begins down to turn number 1. I don't know where my notes have just gone. I've accidentally switched the pages to Zandvoort. That would not be right, would it? That's all right. And let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to rumble. There's 15 minutes to wait. We're getting ready for some racing action. There's a crowd, look pretty bored. Some raving ones. That lady in the red over there looks like she's buzzing. She looks like she's ready for it. Marshall's to right in Ivy's jackets. They look absolutely buzzing to see me in the commentary box. But anyway, chaps, let's have it. Good racing action and good commentary from myself. And if you believe, you will achieve. Who said that? Was that Martin Luther King or something? I don't know. I said it now. Change the history books. We should be ready to go in a few moments' time. I'm heading to the grid for the lights to go out. But anyway, I'm your commentator today, Mr. Alex Bagnall from Driveline Media. And this week it was Max Ring. Fair play to the bloke. He's fantastic commentator. But let's get ready to go for me for this week and the week after that. Round 2, round 3 by myself. And I believe Zabby will be on the mic the week after that one. All I need to know is I'm here for this one. All I need to know. The only commentator sport is me, Jensen. You know that. We all know that. I'm the most fun one. No one else ever has done the, what's it called, that Russian dance on stream, apart from me. I think that's the best thing I've ever done on stream, that, while commentating, is the Rasputin. If you don't want to watch me do the Rasputin, you're going to have to find the video somewhere. But anyway, folks, let's head into the second round here at Suzuka. Jan Halliday on pole position as the engines rise and the silence breaks and the battle begins. Down to turn 1 we go. Jan Halliday with a fantastic start gets ahead of both SCIs. Daniel Hope to the inside line. He gets the place on Isaac Lee, who's dropping down the order. And Ryan Modler into P4. Daniel Hope into P3. Good start from the pairing. They've capitalised on that poor start from Isaac Lee. Jan Halliday with a great start with Oscar Froheim flowing and following behind in that dirty air. Let's have a look at this absolutely fantastic race action in the first sector then as we head into the Degners. Jan Halliday gets away well. Oscar Froheim chasing on the medium compounder tyres. Who can make this one work on the strategies? We'll have a quick look as well at the strategies. Hard for Jan Halliday. Medium, medium, medium. And it's Isaac Lee on the hard. He's gone opposite of his teammates so far. As Omotatis at the moment making a move. And at the moment, tyre strategies there on your screen. To stop, it's saying a medium, soft, soft. That will never, ever be done on this game. But at the moment, Hard, medium, hard. I think you can do a two-stop here. I'm not too sure. 27 laps, I think you'll be fine on one. But I think I've definitely seen people do two stops. I cannot remember the strategy. We'll have to wait and see if people do surprise us. But Jan Halliday has got through this first lap, this first 5.8 kilometre tour, pretty well so far. And as we head down to the first corner once again, a bit of desync there in the lobby. Jan Halliday, then Oscar Furheim now in that slipstream, will have DRS on this next lap as it has been enabled, of course. Jan Halliday covering the inside line. Oscar Furheim going to have to go the long way round. Can he make this one work? Oscar Furheim in the Alpine for SCI, the reigning champions, and want to get that championship lead back. He's got the inside line for the S's. It's still side by side. Jan Halliday just nudges ahead. And Jan Halliday still might have to defend this one as Oscar Furheim is looking racy on these medium compound tyres in the early stages of this race. Can he try and make a move into the Degner corners? It's a bit risky with the larger curb on the inside, which can get you trapped heading into Degner 2. But so far, so good, as I think Lucas Basenham just made a move on Omutatis in P9. As big snap from himself as well on the exit of Degner 2. But at the moment, so far through the grid, everyone getting pretty well through the first 2 laps. No real incidents. All 20 drivers still with us in the DRS train, as we have 25 laps remaining in this one. As Neo was getting very close to Tristan Janssen, and Jan Halliday still might just bring that a little bit more pressure from Oscar Furheim. But only one DRS zone here, and that is from turn 18 to turn number 1. And yeah. At the moment, Jan Halliday leads the way. Oscar Furheim, can he try and find a way through, or can Jan Halliday keep him behind to make this hard medium or hard first stint work for himself? It would really benefit if he can keep him behind. Oscar Furheim, though, he's got the better exit as Jan Halliday had a big snap. Here comes Jan Halliday, and here comes Oscar Furheim, should I say, on Jan Halliday, down to turn number 1. He flies ahead with the DRS, and Oscar Furheim is our new race leader on the medium compounder side. Jan Halliday is on the hard. He now might have to look in his mirrors as Daniel Hope has hope to make the move on the hard runner of Jan Halliday and the pole sitter today. Oscar Furheim leads by 7 tenths of a second in the first sector zone. He's pulling that distance with those extra grippy medium compound. Daniel Hope might need to get through as soon as he possibly can if he wants to try and chase down Oscar Furheim or keep at least in that DRS of him in that lead, as Jan Halliday loses a bit of time to himself. But 3 laps into the race, it's Oscar Furheim who leads, and at the moment Jan Halliday in P2 might just be fighting for that as well, as Daniel Hope still can't get close enough so far. Let's see if he can in the final sectors. Ryan Modler is looking very racy on the back of Daniel Hope. He's looking to pick up a few places, and if he can get past Daniel Hope, Jan Halliday might just be in his sight to try and take P2 and chase down Oscar Furheim for that race lead. But 3 laps done, Oscar Furheim is leading, and at the moment everyone getting through the first few laps pretty well at the back. What's happening there as Nando Moreira is looking very close to the back of Alan Bida, and Nathan Poulane is also very close to Neo in that 5-4 P11. Oscar Furheim, it's the fastest lap of the race so far of a 29.0. Bit of battling out there on the track as Daniel Hope looks to make a move now on Jan Halliday. It's close and just can't get close enough this time around to make that move, so that's to wait at least another lap to probably make that move, unless he can go for a dive at turn number 11. But it seems that in the dirty air, Jan Halliday can just pull away in the first sector and through the Degner corners as well. But yeah, so far, Hamza and Odinux, is that a decent call? Is that actually a move in the first sector? They are very close. But at the moment, no moves being made. Oscar Furheim has pulled out that gap to 1.4 seconds. And at the moment, waiting for a mistake. Oh, is that Odinutux on the outside there, catching the curb, catching the gravel. Luckily stays within DRS, but he's now under massive pressure from AMG. And yeah, it's a huge mistake. That's the corner. That's probably the trickiest on this track, is through Degner number 1. As it pulls you out wide, you can hit the gravel, you can hit the curb, and that could be so poor for your race. It could be race ending if you go into the wall and sail on that curb all the way into the wall. But Oscar Furheim in the lead so far. As you can see that gap out there, Jan Halliday's maintained it on this lap, about 1.2 seconds, and it'll slowly start to reel him in when it becomes hards, as the more optimal tyre compared to the older medium compounder tyres. But Nathan Poulain and Neo going side by side into the Casio triangle. It's really close on the exit, making contact with rear to front tyres. On the exit, though, it's going in the way of Nathan Poulain as he gets ahead and gets P11, but he might just go 3 wide as here comes Zalan Bida looking to pick up the scraps of this fight. Neo on the outside, Zalan in the inside for FBR versus AZR versus RSC. These guys still fighting. Outside line for Zalan Bida, and that is a fantastic move for himself. Up into P12, can now set sights on Nathan for RSC in P11. Great move for himself and for FBR to get himself up into P12. With Zalan is the teammate up in P6 in Oleg Napadovsky, and at the moment his teammate down in P12 picking up a few places so far, and yeah, Nathan definitely got to be in sight. Nearly made it 3 wide getting down to turn number 1. That would have been very interesting as Nando Moreira on the exit of turn number 11 is still very close to Neo here. Actually might try and make a move into Spoon Corner if he gets any closer than that. The slipstream going to pull him in and try and make that work. And he looks to the inside line, Spoon Corner. Not quite. But it might just be all about this exit here. And that might really benefit him heading down to the Casio triangle. But sadly, the gap just opens up. There's Neo with that slipstream. Will also be able to close in slightly. But no, Nando Moreira might be using a bit of battery into 130R. Still side by side. Nando Moreira gets up into P13. Crucial move on a struggling Neo for AZR. Teammate up in P3, but himself just not making this work as well as him, and gets himself up to P number 13 is now for P12. Zalan Bida looking to make another move, lap on lap around the outside of Nathan Poulain, and that cannot go around the outside into turn number 2 and benefits Nathan. Still holding on to P11, but the gap opening up to Tristan Janssen for P10. Oscar Foroheim leading so far though. And the gap staying around 1.2, 1.3 seconds. And Jan Halliday might start to close in the next few laps when the hards become more optimal. When are the medium runners going to pit? Probably around lap 10, lap 11. And that's if it's a one-stop race. I think they might be able to take the hards to the end from there. But yeah, 2-stop, I don't think is in question today, I'm afraid, at Japan. Oscar Foroheim in the lead of the race by 1.2 seconds to Jan Halliday in P2, the pole sitter today. On the invert strategy to Foroheim, Hope in P3, Ryan Modler is in P4. It's Isaac Lee, Oleg Napadovsky, Jonas Orpel, Lucas Basner, Tristan Janssen, Umut Atis rounding out our top 10 so far. But Umut might just be under a bit of pressure as Nathan Poulain closing in on this lap, as I think Umut might have just made a mistake there as he's lost a bit of ground on the rest of the top 9. Let's see who can make a move as we head down to turn number 1. Nathan Poulain 7 tenths back as Pascal Gill's the first man into the pit lane. As we'll take a look at the tyres now, as it's still mixed bag out there for the hards, the white striped hards and the yellow striped mediums. But so far, I think the main ones we need to focus on is Oscar Foroheim's 6-lap-old medium compound tyres. When is he going to come into stop? As the hards look a bit more racy at this stage of the race. After 6-7 laps, forget I said that. After 7 or 8 laps, the medium compound begin to fade away compared to the harder compound tyres. As Oscar Foroheim in the lead, Jan Halliday in P2, Daniel Hope in P3, and it's Ryan Modler and Isaac Lee in the top 5 so far. And for SCI, if they want to regain that championship lead, they're in a really good position at the moment. Race leader, 1 in P5 as well. Tess, P2 and P8, currently in P3 in the standings. And TRT, championship leaders, currently in P9 and P18. So yeah, they need a better result if they want to take and keep the top spot so far. But at the moment, they're the tyres, here are the drivers. Let's see who can make this work. Someone did notice in the chat. I'm quite annoyed now, actually. Oscar Foroheim, then Jan Halliday. It's closer this time around. DRS opens for Jan Halliday. I haven't said that for a few laps. Since the first few laps, really. But here comes Jan Halliday into the first few corners. And this time around, just not close enough to take that race lead back. Nathan Poulain in P11 is close to Umut. This time around, isn't close enough to make a move. And as we head to the top 10. Attis still holding strong, but that gap opening up to the top 9. Tristan Janssen pulling away from Attis, who's 2.5 seconds behind. And so far, on lap 8, Jan Halliday has actually been gapped slightly, as he might push a bit too hard on the last few laps to get back in the DRS. Oh, that's a big slide from Attis there, and that is exactly why the top 9 are pulling away. His mistakes like that can easily drag you back. And yeah, Zalan, Nathan, they all want to get through now. They've seen that mistake and they know he might will need to pick up the scraps and capitalise on the mistakes he made and keeps making so far. But it's lap 8 at 27. Oscar Furheim, pressure. There isn't much at the moment for himself. Pressure, he's saying what pressure? As Nando Moreira still knocking on the door of the back of this pack. It gets close enough in the first 2 sectors, but in the final sector, just not close enough to make a move. And yeah, once again, 3 attempts back. And yeah, the fight for P12 is definitely on. The fight for the top 10 is definitely on for these guys. But need to pick up the scraps of Matatis if they want anything more than that. Odin the Tux is into the pit lane for ONB. And Pascal Gilles' teammate has already came into the pit lane. Luke SL also into the pit lane. And Pascal is on to the harder compact tyres. It's lap 9 of 27 then so far. And the fight at the front, and there isn't much at the moment. Keeps staying at the around 8/10 mark at the moment. So yeah, no real fight at the moment. The close one on track is probably this one with Nando Moreira, Alan Bida, Nathan Poulain and Omatatis. But at the moment, no real change as the overtake in spots. Oh, what's happened to Oleg Napadovsky? He's in the gravel. He's doing exactly what I thought someone would do in this race. He's in the gravel and he is miles off the track at the moment. He's back online. But Oleg Napadovsky, huge mistake for FBR. And they're only runner into the top 10. He's lost that front left end plate. Hamza gets back through, but he's rid the curb on the exit of Degner 1. He's flew into the wall at Degner 2 as it makes you carry that speed so much. There goes Hamza as the front left end plate. The front left wing is basically all torn off of that car, so it's going to be tricky around most of these corners, especially this next one, 130R. Really benefits the mechanical grip on these cars. And their outside line for Oleg Napadovsky goes way too wide as he tries to keep it pinned on the throttle, as Florian Fanzelter also gets through from the back of the grid. Matatis in P10, now P11, is dropping down the orders because he's into the pit lane, needs it finally for himself. Huge mistake though for Oleg Napadovsky, and I tell you, he wouldn't have done that, Jensen Ralston, who's in the chat. But anyway, his teammate into the pit lane, needs a new front wing, needs to refresh himself. Now to take Degner 1 and Degner 2, that's a huge mistake to make, and that just might be race costing, points costing in the long run for FVR. At the moment, out front, the gap staying around the same, with Jan Halliday in P2 still, but the Pulse on arguing the better tyres at this phase of the race. Oscar Froheim is letting these mediums run quite well so far, to be honest. He's doing quite a decent job to keep Jan Halliday where he is. And at the moment, Halliday is getting a bit close, I'll just say that. Lap 10. I mean, these tyres will be a lot worse than the lap 6 and 7 mark. But yeah, at the moment, we head down to 130R. Furheim leads, Halliday in P2. And I think this time around he's just a little bit close. It's all about this exit here for Jan Halliday. And the test driver might just retake the lead this time around. It's a good exit from Oscar Froheim though. It might just keep him behind for an extra lap. Ryan Modler is into the pit lane, the first out of the top 5. Oh, 10-second time penalty for speed in the pit lane. Ryan Modler, what have you done there? That is a huge mistake to make in these type of races. Everyone's so closely, tightly packed. And Ryan Modler, I mean, that's limited what he can do for the rest of the race. So it's lap 11 out of 27. He needs probably a safety car to get rid of that 10-second time penalty. And Ryan Modler for VNT, huge error. Huge error for himself. And he's now going to put himself probably out of the top 10 with that whenever else comes into the pit lane. Jan Halliday is closing out a little bit more. This time around, still kind of close enough. Nando Moreira, he's been knocking on the door all race long. He's only made one move. I feel like he's got the pace, But this time around, he's just stuck in these tricky parts of the track where he can't overtake. And in the first sector, just isn't quick enough at the moment to get a move done. But at the front, a bit close this time around. Jan Halliday closes up to the back of Oscar Furheim. Can he make the move? The chasing Aston Martin on the Alpine. SCI versus Tess once again. It's closer into the Casio triangle. He pulls to the inside line, tries to dive. No, nothing going there. It's all about his exit then. What Oscar Furheim has been doing all race long pretty well. He's into the pit lane as he says that, so he's damage limitation. Now Hardy takes the lead of the race. He gets DRS as well. That'll boost him into the lead the race, and now he's going to set his hard compound tyres alight, and he's pushed like mad on the lap 12 mark. And yeah, it should just be one stop then. And we'll have a quick look at the tyres as well. Alex Bagnall tyre talk, not Ted's tyre talk. That is woke nonsense. Jan Halliday in P1. Then it's Isaac Cleet, Lucas Baisner, Tristan Janssen, Zalan Bida, Nando Moreira, Florian Fanzelta, Hamza, AMG, all yet to stop in this race so far. But the lead runner who has stopped is this man, Oscar Furheim. And currently 6.5 behind AMG. That's definitely coming down a lot quicker than I'd have thought of. But at the moment, AMG might just halt his progress if he just catch the back of himself. When do these guys pit in the top 9? That's the question we need to be asking now. I think it'll probably be an extra 2 or 3 laps. I think an extra 6 or 7 laps might just be a bit too much. So that'll be like lap 18. It'll be really optimal for the tyres to get under 10 laps of wear, but I feel like some drivers might go for it, some don't. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what people prioritise. Is it going to be track time? I know it's tricky to overtake, but when you have got the tyre offset, it can be a little bit easier. So yeah, let's keep an eye on the top 9 and whether they can make it work by going a little bit longer and making the overtakes on the other guys out there on the track. But yeah, still yet to stop in the top 9. Any hard runners still yet to stop as well. And there's some guys actually out there like Pascal Gill. He stopped 5 laps ago now. He's going to be a struggle to the end of the race. OMB in a tricky position so far. It's Nando Moreira. He's actually finally made a move, and that is on Zalan Bida up in for P5. He's been having the pace, been knocking on the door, so fair play to him. Finally capitalised on that. What's happened there to Hamza, who's in the water? Turn 1. What's happened there to Hamza? And now, coming back on the track in P12, huge error. And once again, Hamza, the number 67, poor mistake to make, especially on your hard compound tyres. That's just a loss of grip, loss of riz. And yeah, that's going to struggle. He's actually, I thought he rid the curb then as well. I thought he made 2 mistakes in a few corners. But yeah, that's a tricky mistake to make for Hamza, who's really ruined any chance of points in this race. Well, good points in this race for IRT. And was in a good position in the top 9. And yeah, he might want to pit a little bit earlier now. Try and do something different to the guys out top. And in the chat as well, I am seeing a lot of people put them 2 numbers together. And I do actually keep saying it today in conversation. So I think I just need to stop. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cancel myself or something, because it's quite frustrating saying them 2 numbers together. But at the moment, lap 14 out of 27. And it's not lap 6 or lap 7. It's lap 14, which is just over 6 plus 7. As Oscar Furheim above AMG in P8 and P9. Oh, I feel like Keir Starmer. Furheim gets the place on AMG on his fresher, harder compounded tyres, and is now making his way through the traffic. AMG, I think, might have had a bit of contact then with Hamza, because they both dropped a lot of time on that last lap. And yeah, at the moment, battle going on behind him as well. Daniel Hope is on the back of AMG. He needs to make a move. He's going for the dive down at turn number 11. Nicely does it. Keeps the space between the pairing on the exit. AMG looking to fight back as we head round 200R. The better grip, though, is Daniel Hope on his fresher tyres and makes the place up into P10. Gives him hope for this strategy to keep it worse. And I agree with Jensen in the chat. That was one of the worst videos I have ever seen in my life. That apparently is our Prime Minister. I feel ill to think that. But we're not getting political on stream at all. But yeah, that was poor. That was a very poor showing from the PM of Great Britain, which isn't looking great. But anyway, 15 out of 27, 12 laps to go. I think pit stops can now begin for the hard runners, which they are actually doing. As I say that, Florian van Zelter is in the pit lane for current championship leaders TRT, which might just change as Tess is in a good position but still needs pits. But I think mainly SCI are in the best position at the moment. Points wise, team wise, Oscar Furheim looking good to try and take that lead back. Jan Halliday in P1 still out front on the hard compounder tyres. And let's see what Halliday can pull out, as it's going to be a tricky one to fight through traffic. But once again, I feel like it's the Japanese race type thing. Not much happens in the race, to be honest. We had quite a bit of action with a few incidents and a few battles, but apart from that, it's very tricky to overtake. So it's one of them races where it is quite, it's quite focused on qualifying. It's a bit like Monaco, to be honest, but a few overtaken spots, one extra overtaken spot, and the only having one DRS zone really does affect this race as well. But yeah, it is a really tricky one to overtake, because Tristan Janssen is into the pit lane from P4. Let's see where he comes out. Ryan Modler is in P8 at the minute. And he's got that 10-second time penalty. Let's see what happens to him at the end of the race. So yeah, let's keep in mind his 10-second time penalty. That's going to be effective. Where that was a long pit stop. I just teleported out of it. That's all right. That's all right, EA. No worries. Daniel Hope is right on the back of Ryan Modler. Now, speaking about that, hards 4 laps for Daniel Hope, 5 laps for Ryan Modler. And yeah, Ryan Modler's a bit of a placeholder at the minute in P6 with that 10-second time penalty. Tristan Janssen on a 3-second time penalty so far. And currently 11 laps to go. So I think Jan Halliday might call it this or next lap. 10 laps in on the medium compound of tyres. I think that's good enough to make some moves and gain that time back. And the tyre offset being a solid 5 or 6 laps there. So yeah, let's see what Jan Halliday does. Is it going to be this lap? Isn't it going to be next lap? He's definitely going to have a solid 10 laps in on the medium compound tyres. Yeah, let's see what Jan Halliday does to respond to a few guys that's pitted behind. And into the pit lane. He does come, slides into the pit lane, but keeps it, catches it. And doesn't want speed, hasn't sped into the pit lane nicely. Jan Halliday from the race lead is in the pit lane. Isaac Leet, on the other hand, 10-second time penalty. Huge mistake to make, Isaac Lee. And for SCI, reigning champions, and in this Championship Esports series, that could be crucial in the long term. You never know what's going to happen. Now, Isaac Lee, with a crucial 10-second time penalty, needs to try and hold on to as many points as he possibly can. And where's it going to come out? It's going to be really close to this McLaren. It's still side by side with Jonas Orpel, just not ahead. And huge error then for Isaac Lee. That is something you can't do. I mean, I feel like so many esports drivers do this 10-second time penalty, and they make these mistakes coming into the pit lane. I feel like people practice the obvious things, but just slow it down. Lose half a tenth if you have to by slowing down to not get a 10-second time penalty. It's rather slow down a bit before, or add 10 seconds to your race time. And I feel like in these esports series, it's crucial. It's so crucial, because that 10 seconds is the gap between 1st and 11th. In some races, it could be even worse. Yeah, and if there's a late safety car, Isaac Lee will be in big trouble. So will Ryan Modler. At the moment, though, out on track, ignoring all that, Lucas Baisner, Nando Moreira still yet to stop. 16-lap-old harder compounder tyres. Oscar Furheim is in P3 at the moment. Net race leader on 5-lap-old harder compounder tyres, and is chasing down Nando Moreira for that race lead back. Ryan Modler's in behind when it's Daniel Hope looking to get that place in P5. He's very close now to Ryan Modler. Let's see if he gets a good exit here. That could be crucial for Daniel Hope. who hopes to try and take P4. He will take it in penalties. It stays this way, but we've got a chasing Jan Holiday right in the background to enter in lap number 18. To the inside line we go with Daniel Hope. To the inside line he goes on Ryan Modler. Fraser Dar up into P2. Good move from himself. And Daniel Hope has got it on track as well. Lovely stuff from himself. Jan Holiday, on the other hand, is closing on Ryan Modler. 1.1 is the gap for Jan Holiday on the medium compound tyres, then also chasing Jonas Orpel. Isaac Lee, who needs to get through, is losing a lot of race time to Jan Holiday and the top three, and cannot waste these tyres, lasting better than the hard compound tyres. The earlier the better for Isaac Lee, and might want to try and make the move here into turn number 11 if he's close enough. The gap 3 attempts closing, still not close enough though for Isaac Lee on Orpel. For ET8 in the top 5, doing a pretty decent job. Isaac Lee needs the best race time as he can, with that 10-second time penalty included. In the rears, he's getting the slipstream. He's head up to Spoon Curve. Is he close enough this time round? He's still not. So SCI held back for another lap. Tristan Janssen also in behind in P7 on 2-lap-old medium compounder tyres. But on the exit, good for Isaac Lee. He might also make this one into 130R. Jan Holiday gets the move up into P3. Lovely stuff from himself. We'll look back to Isaac Lee, who's got the inside line at 130R and gets the place into 130R. P5 for himself. And Leet gets up into P5. And now behind that, Tristan Janssen and Jonas Orpel going side by side. Quick reaction from Tristan Janssen, who looks to make the move as Jan Holiday gets up into P2. Strong stint so far from Jan Holiday, who looks to try and take this race win. He's got 8 laps to chase down Oscar Furheim. He could absolutely do that in the next 4 laps if he keeps this absolutely lightning quick pace lap after lap. Makes moves after move. And Jan Holiday, pole sitter, could easily win this race for Tess. And this is a fantastic drive for himself. Get himself into a position where he's done the opposite strategy, was making it work. Hard laps 7, medium 2. I mean, these tyres are going to last and have the advantage till the end of the race. Better strategy from Jan Holiday, it seems. Let's see if a defensive masterclass can occur from Oscar Furheim or any other curveballs are going to throw themselves into the mix. But at the moment, everyone's simmering down after the pit stops. People chasing other drivers. They're the tyres for you, and they're the penalties for you. Ryan Modler and Isaac Lee in the top 5, both of them with 10-second time penalties. Tristan Janssen having a 3-second time penalty. Jonas Orpel, if he keeps up with these guys, might be able to take P4. That'll be a fantastic achievement for himself on the other strategy. But still, out on track at the minute. There's still a lot of action to decide. Got 8 laps to go. Now let's compare the lap times, not that one. Jan Holiday does a 1:28.4, the fastest lap of the race. And Oscar Furheim in P1 at the moment. Going to be under massive pressure to keep setting lap after lap, fastest lap after fastest lap. And Nando Moreira just making a quick move on Neo there, down to turn number 1. I think Nando Moreira needed a better qualifying for himself because he's been lightning in this race. He's qualified P16, but he's just been on the back of... Is that rain? Did anyone else see that? I think that was rain. We'll have to keep an eye out. But it looked like there was rain. Tyres for yourself in the chat. Currently Oscar Furheim on the hards, Jan Holiday on the mediums. I thought it was raining. It might have just been a bit of a glitch for myself. Furheim, Holiday 2.3, different tyres, 5-lap older for Oscar Furheim and harder compounder tyres. 3-lap tyres for Jan Holiday. And throughout the grid, got different tyre strategies all the way through. Nando Moreira does have a big chance though. Going back to my point on himself, he's been really quick in this race. He's been really solid. Fighting drives off. Oh, who's that there? That's almost Artis once again making another mistake. He's off the track in P13. He's dropped down to P13. Zalan Bida up to P11. I don't think that was. I think that might be desync. As yeah, Nando Moreira is also closing on Nathan Boulay once again. Here goes Ryan Modler on Daniel Hope, swapping positions once again. Modler up to P3. I'm not sure if it's been a mistake from Daniel Hope. Nando Moreira proving a point of him having good pace. 28.3 as he's up in it's a P10 at the moment. That's fastest lap of the race in P10. So yeah, strong stuff from himself. And once again, he's going to be closing in the top 9. And do you know what? Could be in a really solid position to take the 10-second time penalty advantage from Isaac Lee. Maybe even Ryan Modler. If he keeps setting this pace till the end of the race, he can catch up to Nathan, get the move on him. Maybe look at Lucas Bazen if he's getting held up by Jonas Orpel. And Moreira could be in a really solid position to finish this race on a high. He's cutting up 6 positions from P16. Really, really solid drive. Definitely a contention for driver of the day. But yeah, one of the faster guys out there. Unlucky not to be in contention further up the order. But so far, Jan Halliday closing up 1.4 to Oscar Froheim. In the chat, Ethan Devaney, hello from yourself. Lovely to see you in the chat. As always, see you pretty much everywhere, I feel, nowadays. AZR, P12 and P4, not doing bad for your team. Bagnall leads in eye testing. I actually think I do, to be honest, as I've had my prescription for about a year now. And probably do need a bit of a top-up on my prescription. But anyway, not on my eyes. Ethan distracted me. Let's have a look at Oleg Napadovsky, because he seems pretty close to Odin Tux in P14. This battle goes all the way up to P11 with Zalan Vida. As Lucas Bainer, sorry, I missed that one there. Just got past Jonas Orpel, and that could be crucial now for Nathan Poulain, who can also catch up to the back of Orpel, and maybe Nando Moreira as well. But yeah, I think Moreira could definitely be in contention for the top 8. Just depends on how quick he can get through this traffic, because there is the RSC ahead of him. And at the moment, what's happened to Lucas SL in that first sector? A quick look back. Oh, he's in the gravel trap. That's the RSC driver of Lucas SL in the gravel, and that has caused... Pretty sure that's a virtual safety car. I don't see a yellow dot on the map, so I think that's, yeah, it's a virtual safety car. And that's going to neutralise the race. And that just might actually help Oscar Froheim keep Jan Halliday back for another lap. That's going to help Nando Moreira. Nathan Poulain keep Nando Moreira back for another lap. But should go for green in a few moments' time. Bit of a mistake there from Lucas SL, who's now at the back of the pack. And a shame to see. I think we're going to go green in a few moments' time here. Oscar Froheim, Jan Halliday, Ryan Modler, but then Daniel Hope is in the net podium places at the minute. And the DRS is enabled. We are going green once again. Nando Moreira can now put pressure on to Nathan Poulain. As we head down to turn 1, he's got the rear wing wide open, straight down to turn 1. Can he make this move instantly? It's going to be a push. I don't think he's going to be able to make it. He's going to close in just 2 tenths between himself and Nathan Poulain, but no, cannot make the move. Omatatis in P12 making a move with Neo side by side. I think he's having some desync issues. He's going all over the place, this car. But Omut, for IRT, keeps dropping back, making mistakes, and I think it might be because of his desync issues. He's got no front right end plate, so he's going to be under pressure now from Odin Natux and Oleg Napadovsky in behind. But a quick look now forward. One of the fastest men on the track at the minute, and in the race as a whole, based on lap time. Here is Nando Moreira, looks to the inside line, don't see many moves at turn number 11. He's had the pace in the first sector, bit of wheel banging there, but on the exit, Nando Moreira back up to P9. Fantastic stuff from himself. Not the cleanest move in the world, but he's got the job done. Moreira into P9 is now going to set sights on Jonas Orpel. 4.3 seconds on the road. He can definitely close it up in the next few laps, that's for certain. Nathan Poulain, 3-second time penalty. Jan Halliday, move for the lead into the Casio triangle, makes the move so early. I didn't think it was going to be this early, but he's proved us wrong. Jan Halliday, Oscar Froheim, going to go battling once again. It's closing. Jan Halliday's got the DRS. He can't pull out of the slipstream. Can Oscar Froheim? So that will mean it's going to be Jan Halliday who leads the race once again on the inverse strategy. Has made it work. Into the race lead, can now try and pull away from Oscar Froheim and Fortes in such a strong position in P1. And you never know, could be even P1 in the standings by the end of this race. It depends on where Isaac Lee finishes in this race. And for SCI, could be under massive pressure from Tess and Lucas Bazen and Jan Halliday. And make this a really, really good competition for Tess as a whole. And yeah, solid stuff from himself. And big slide, yeah, in the chat as well. I mentioned, yeah, big slide from Nathan early on as well when he was defending from Nando Moreira. He's already caught Jonas Oppel by a second. But Jan Halliday retakes the lead. Pole sitter back on top. Went for the invert strategy. He's made it work. Longevity and extra grip. Solid stuff from Halliday, who's into the race lead. Daniel Hope is still hoping to keep P3. Luckily ahead of him and behind him, Isaac Lee on a 10-second time penalty. Ryan Modler on a 10-second time penalty. Tristan Janssen on a 3-second time penalty. Daniel Hope, he's got some serious hope today. He's been gifted hope. And this is a really solid performance from the AZR driver, who's actually now defending from Isaac Lee. Side by side between the pair. He's got overtaken, got a switch back on the exit. For Daniel Hope, Isaac Lee nearly pushing him out wide. Here comes Daniel Hope. Can he try and make this move back? He absolutely has. Straight line speed in his favour. And the Haas, the AZR, up into P4. Net P3. And doesn't want to keep too much pressure on himself. Oleg Napadovsky will have a quick look at what's going on here. Daniel Tux, Omutatis, and Oleg Napadovsky all fighting for position. For FBR up into P13, his teammate up into P11. 2.5 laps to go. As at the moment, he's still close at the top. Oscar Froheim hasn't let him go in P2, but Jan Halliday has got a safe margin now to Oscar Froheim. I think he can push on. He's definitely got more pace at the moment, but only by a few tenths a lap as the tyres start to equal out in this phase of the race. Isaac Leet closing up to Daniel Hope. Daniel Hope closing up to Ryan Modler. These guys closing up as a whole in the chat. Ethan Devaney, yes, I am. I will be here next week. I'll be here in a few other rounds as well. I think I'm having a 2 or 3 week break after that one. Then I'll be back. And I think I'm as a whole, I'll be commentating, I think, 6 or 7 events in this series. But yeah, we'll have a look. And you should see me a few times this season. Omutatis under pressure from Florian Van Zelter. I feel like the day's getting worse for Omutatis. He's just not had a great race at all. Few mistakes. He's got no end plates at all. Here comes Van Zelter, and starting last up into P15 TRT. P6 and P15, not the best performance from themselves. Tristan Janssen has a freezing time penalty as well. We need to keep that in mind at the end of the race. The ultimate lap of the Grand Prix, guys. Jan Halliday in the S's so far. A second clear of Oscar Furheim. And solid stuff from Jan Halliday to get in P1 so early. And he must have done a really good job on the hard stint as well to really reduce the deficit to Oscar Furheim as well. Didn't really gain too much time. I think it was about 4 seconds overall, which was easily closed with so much younger tyres and medium tyres as well compared to the hard. So yeah, really solid strategy today. Oscar Furheim, I think, can be glorious in defeat. Still gets P2 for SCI. It's a team game at the end of the day. His teammate, Isaac Lee, is going to be a bit let down with that 10-second time penalty, but I'm sure they'll come back fighting the reigning champions like they always do. SCI still yet to get a win this season. No, not still yet to win. They won in round 1, should I say, sorry. But still yet to lead the championship, should I say. As that is TRT, who currently lead it at the moment, which I think might be Tess after this one, after all points calculated. But here we go, the final tour of this icon of a race circuit. And here in round 2, one name has shone through, and that is this man in Jan Halliday. Oscar Furheim has thrown all he possibly could. Going to throw all his ERS, I'm sure, on the final lap. As everyone throughout the grid is separating these gaps. Here's Daniel Hope and Isaac Lee. Daniel Hope is going to take P3 anyway. It'll be better if he could do it on track, just in case anything happens in the steward's room, but a slap ban penalty is for a 10-second time penalty. These guys fighting. Daniel Hope keeps P4, net P3. Great race for AZR, Jury Esports. Going to get himself onto the podium. Mega job with Daniel Hope. And yeah, really great performance there from Daniel Hope to even keep P4. He's had the pace here at Japan, and we'll cross the line, take Ryan Modler on penalties, and let's see how far they drop back. As Nando Moreira kind of needs to make the move now on Jonas Oppel. This is for track position, about 0.5 of a second. He's closing in. He's got better tyres, I'm pretty sure, but Jonas Oppel definitely has held his pace quite strong on the harder compounded tyres. This time around, though, I think he's just too far back. He's definitely been really quick today, Nando Moreira. Big credit to himself for trying to climb all these positions. A really good job of it. Let's head back to the front, guys. Round number 2. pole sitter Jan Halliday. Most of qualifying, he shone to the top in most of his laps as well. Been absolutely fantastic today. Oscar Froheim tried the invert strategy. Jan Halliday shone through though. Fantastic race in round 2. Jan Halliday, mega job. Pole position, race winner here in round 2. It's Tess who get the top spot. SCI, reigning champions with Oscar Froheim, takes P2, but it's Jan Halliday's day. I mean, magnificent job for himself. Daniel Hope, on the other hand, AZR. What a performance from Daniel Hope. Azuri Esports onto the podium. Who would have thought that heading into the race day? Daniel Hope in P3. What a magnificent drive for himself. On penalties it is, but you've got to be there to get the rewards, to reap the rewards. Daniel Hope P3. Lucas Baines takes P4. Tristan Janssen in P5. Nando Moreira, I think that's a man to talk about today. What a performance from himself. Positions gained 9. And definitely my driver of the day, joint with Daniel Hope, is Nando Moreira. Really solid performance for himself. I saw his pace just lurking in the background of all drivers, it seemed. And yeah, solid from Nando Moreira. But Jan Halliday, magnificent drive. Race win for Tess. Pole position for Tess. Maybe even the championship lead when all comes into account. Lucas Baines takes P4 for Tess as well. I think it will be the championship lead. Currently sat in P3. Might just find a wave to the top. What a drive from Jan Halliday. And what a job here in round 2 here in Champions Esports Series. Jan Halliday wins in his standout performance here at Suzuka. As head to the podium, Jan Halliday wins. Oscar Froheim in P2 and Azuri Esports shot podium in P3 for Daniel Hope. And Daniel, driver of the day, saying Nando Moreira, I'd absolutely agree. Really solid drive. But Jan Halliday who wins. Oscar Froheim takes P2. Daniel Hope in P3. Lucas Baines takes P4. Tristan Janssen in P5. Jonas Orpel. Then Nando Moreira in P7. Ryan Modler in P8. Then it's Isaac Leet and Nathan Poulain rounds out the top 10. And mega drive from Jan Halliday. Oscar Froheim, magnificent to take B2. Did everything he could. Only 9 attempts back in the end. But on the invert strategy, Jan Halliday got the grip. He got the move done as early as he possibly could and takes the win overall. Daniel Hope, been there all race. And he picked up the scraps of the penalties and the penalised 10-second time penalties for Ryan Modler and Isaac Lee, who end up finishing in P8 and P9 in this race. Big mistakes from himself. And Moreira was able to capitalise and take P7 overall. But Jan Halliday, magnificent race, magnificent job, wins the race. As we led back to myself then. And a quick reminder for the calendar next week as well. We'll do that in a few moments' time. I'll have a look in a server just to make sure nothing's happening there. But overall, mega job. And have a quick look if anyone... I don't think they do interviews here. So, yeah, I think everyone's all right with that one. We'll head to the calendar then. So, it was Australia first. It was qualifiers in Qatar, Australia in the first round, Japan in the second round. Then we head to Canada. Next week, you'll be joined by myself on the 2nd of December for round number 3. And let's see if Jan Halliday is there and see if he performs in Canada. Another interesting race we're going to have. So yeah, join me in Canada for some more racing action. But apart from that, round 2 is done, my friends. I hope you all enjoyed today's race. Tess, magnificent from himself. P1 and P4. Keep an eye on them for the future rounds as well. But apart from that, that's absolutely everything for us today, guys. So I'm playing pleasure for myself. I've been Alex Bagnall with Driveline Media, your host of the Champions Esports Series this season. I'll see you next week for some more racing action in Canada at Jules Villeneuve Circuit. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.